Hello everybody, I am Fuzzyface and welcome back to another edition, part 5 of this Williams career on Motorsport Manager, the resurrection of the Williams Grand Prix team. If you have not already seen today, I have put on another video. It should have gone on a couple of hours before this one. It is a game with Wreckfest, another racing game. If you've not already checked it out, maybe go ahead and check it out. I'm not saying you have to, but it would be appreciated if you could check it out, that video. It is sort of a little test, doing a couple of races, a couple of the demolition derbies. If that goes well, you might move on to career mode in that game, which might then give me the motivation needed to go ahead and make a career mode let's play of the newer F1 game when it comes out later this year, the Codemasters game. But anyway, enough about all of that. We're going to get back into this game. If you watched the last episode, we had a great result even with Robert Kubica. He actually finished on the podium, third place. The safety car came out about halfway through the Grand Prix. He was in 14th place at the time, but by the time the safety car got in, one corner he'd moved himself up to like 5th. Down the pit straight he was up into 4th place, managed to pick up an amazing 10 places or so. Absolutely amazing move. He held on to that 4th place all the way till the end of the Grand Prix. Bottas retired pretty near the end, moved him up into 3rd place onto the podium. An absolute brilliant result for him. Unfortunately, for some reason, when I exited the game, it didn't save. But I did actually go into the preferences, a little bit of a cheat. Well, not really a cheat, because I was trying to achieve the same result as we got before. So I knocked the AI difficulty all the way down to easy for that, just to try and sort of get the same result as we did. So we're going to knock it back up to AI driver level 3 now, which is what we were going on. It's one that I think represents most to real life, but knocking it down to AI driver level 10, Tondela, I did manage to get Kubica up into 3rd. He was going to be finishing that race in 2nd with the AI difficulty on -10, but I went in low mode on the tyres and the fuel towards the end of the race, let Alonso pass, just so we got that same result. So everything is the same as where we left it points wise. A couple of the other teams and drivers are a little bit mixed up, but Sauber didn't score points again though. The only other thing that changed in the last episode, Phoenix got voted out. This time it got rejected, so Phoenix won't be staying for next season, which I sort of wanted anyway. That is the only other thing that changed. We do have Kubica now in the car. We do have the front wing, the rear wing upgraded as we did for the last race. We're currently working on the 2 new gearboxes that we've built. These are hopefully going to be ready in time for Vancouver, which is when we can start introducing engine upgrades. As if you remember, I've got a certain schedule as when we can introduce upgrades, Tondela being the first one, then Vancouver, and then it's every 4 races from then we can introduce Aero and engine upgrades from Milan, and then once again in Phoenix. So that is the schedule for introducing upgrades. So we're just going to get straight into the next Grand Prix. I think we just finished the gearbox. I'm not sure what to actually build next. The engine's alright, so maybe we should just get ahead and build a brakes. Get a +10 and then a +30. Maybe we should do that, and then we can start get these next upgrades ready for Milan. So Kubica, we're going to leave him at home. Kubica's actually in the car anyway, so we don't really need to select to leave him at home, and just the normal tyres as usual. But we'll be back in a second to go through the race. So qualifying over, we've got quite a weird grid. There was no rain in qualifying, just the grid is thrown out of order for some reason, whether it's to do with the Cape Town Grand Prix, but we'll go through it anyway. Lewis Hamilton on pole. In 2nd place, on the front row of the grid, we've got Kevin Magnussen in the Haas car. Fernando Alonso is in 3rd place on the 2nd row. Kimi is in 4th. It looks like he's injured. He's got eye problems. Max Verstappen is in 5th. Roman Grosjean, Haas, an amazing weekend for them qualifying-wise, up into 6th. Valtteri Bottas, 7th. For the Mercedes, 8th for Nico Hulkenberg, and then on the 5th row of the grid in 9th and 10th we've got Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull and Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari for some reason. I don't know the reason why they're all the way down there, but what can we do about it? Esteban Ocon in the Force India in 11th, Robert Kubica in 12th, our highest qualifying of the season so far, 12th place Kubica. An amazing lap on his last lap, once again pulled out all the stops on his last qualifying lap. We were sitting 19th and 20th after the first run. An amazing lap from him got him up into 12th. Carlos Sainz is in 13th, Pierre Gasly 14th in the Toro Rosso, Stoffel Van Dorn a long way behind his teammate Fernando Alonso in 15th. The Sauber of Marcus Ericsson 16th, Charles Leclerc, his teammate, just behind him on the 9th row in 17th. Sorokin up off the last row of the grid for a change in 18th place as upgrade, seemingly working a little bit here. Although we were a long way behind after the first run, after I said Sergio Perez, who's injured as well. He's got a dodgy neck, all the way down in 19th for the Force India, and bringing up the rear, Brendan Hartley in the Toro Rosso. It should be a not a one stop, what am I saying, a two stop for this race. We're starting out on the softs, the middle compound tyre for Kubica, and the hardest compound we can pick, the super soft for Kubica, and the soft for Sorokin, the hardest tyre compound we could pick for him. But Kubica, an amazing start. He's got some amazing acceleration pace, even though the gearbox is not up to scratch with this car. We do seem to be able to accelerate pretty well off the line, as we saw last time with the restart from the safety car. Amazing pace from Kubica. He's up into 10th already, so we might have another points finish on our hands here. Kubica, though, dropping down the order now. He's into 13th, 12th. Is he keeping it? He's keeping 12th place over Ocon. Ericsson has made a really good start in the Sauber. He's out in front. It sets the quickest middle sector of the Grand Prix, it looked like, and he's keeping it. Leclerc in the Sauber, quickest first sector so far. But we could put them under pressure. We're just sort of going to hold back maybe with some of this, just so we can sort of do this. What is the weather like? 14. It's pretty cold, so we're going to have to keep some heat in the tyres. We might be pushed to a three-stop strategy if we want to keep heating these tyres. And Kubica falling down 14th. Managed to get that place back from Ericsson. No, that's Leclerc that he's battling with at the moment. Can we keep the inside? Should we push a little bit? Make sure we can keep these places. We want track position here as we go around this first part of the Grand Prix. We're going to home in on Ericsson. Can we get past him as well? Just try and get track position over him as we push his car a little bit. We've got Esteban Ocon in front now. What should we do? We should start going back. We've got a little bit of heat in his tail. Let's see if we can get Sorokin moved up. He's done pretty well himself. He's done pretty well up into 15th place. We'll do the same with him briefly. Although Kubica's lost that place back to Ericsson already. This Sauber car looking really good for race pace around this track. Leclerc already on the back of us. Sorokin pushing as well. He's doing really well himself. He's going to get right behind Kubica here. We'll keep him like that. So let's see if he can make this pass on. Although we do want Kubica in front, so we'll put these guys on the same strategy now. Although they're on, Kubica is on the quicker tyre, so Sorokin with a little bit more pace in him, considering he's on the slower tyre, the soft tyre. Really working out here for Sorokin. Can we get both cars up into the points for the first time maybe this season, as we see Leclerc get back past Sorokin there, up into 14th for Leclerc. Sorokin under pressure from Carlos Sainz now. Carlos Sainz gets past him. Kubica though 13th. Let's just speed this up a little bit. We're in the sort of lull between pit stops now. Everyone's sort of settling down. Sorokin though dropping down the order again, all the way back down to 18th now, starting to lose a little bit of pace on this soft tyre. As Gasly, Van Dorn, they're starting to push. They're pushing the fuel a little bit, just the same as we are. Not much different here. It didn't seem, like I said in qualifying after that first lap, that the track didn't sort of suit our car. Whereas no track should really suit our car because it's that bad at the moment. Although Kubica makes a wonderful move on Ocon. Ocon's slowing down. His tyres look to have hit the wall here. So that is good for us. We should be able to keep that place over him as we go through this. He's really burnt through that first set of ultra soft tyres. He's nowhere near the pits as well. He's really dropping down the order as these tyres just fade away for Ocon. Finally gets into the pits just before he was about to be overtaken into last place, but will come out of the pits in last place anyway. He's going on to the soft tyre for his next stint. Sorokin, meanwhile, that moves him up into 17th place. He's currently battling Stoffel Van Dorn. We're not really concentrating on Sorokin at the moment because I don't think he's got any sort of hope of scoring points. Whereas the upgraded front wing and rear wing, the best parts that we've got, have both gone into Kubica's car. So maybe once we get the gearbox upgrades, maybe we'll sort of even the cars up. It might mean Kubica might not score the points, but we don't need the points now. And just let our two guys race, see if Sorokin can keep his seat. We might even put Stroll back in the car for a little bit of time as we get towards the end of the season, or maybe mix them up one and go one race off. Maybe Kubica gets up into 11th, who we've seen come into the pits. Kevin Magnussen into the pits. It looks like he's lost a lot of time. I don't know where he was before he came into the pits, but say this one, it looks like around 20 odd seconds, 16 seconds down. He must have been in about 9th place, so he lost a lot of places from the second place that he was on the grid when this race started. So we're just waiting now, just sort of for our pit stop. These tyres are sort of cooling down, but we want to get this as far as we can, and then maybe we can come in for a soft tyre, which can go a long way into this Grand Prix if we sort of look after them, and that might allow us to get onto a pair of ultra softs to finish the race on. That is sort of the plan we're going for here. Get onto those ultra softs whilst the fuel's low, have a nice quick car for the end of the Grand Prix. We are going to have to start recovering some fuel at some point, but it is a lot of laps, and the length of a lap doesn't regard to how much recovery of the fuel you can get. 0.1 per lap in medium mode is what you can usually sort of recover if you've got the right chassis for your car. But 9th place, Kubica in now. We've seen a lot of cars pit. Ferrari has pitted, got out ahead of Magnussen. We've got these few that we should be able to stay ahead of. So maybe now we're seeing getting down to about lap 12. So we've gone through these tyres a little bit quicker than we wanted to. So maybe we can go ahead and push for 1 laps into the pits. Now we're going to get this tyre out of the way, and we're going to get in for a pair of softs to do the middle stint of the Grand Prix. We do have a little bit of risk with the pit stop, mainly due to Matt Rayner on the tyres. He's seemingly a little bit tired. Might have to swap him out for the next Grand Prix, so hopefully we're not going to get a mistake here. Sorokin complaining about being stuck behind Van Dorn, which he has been for a while. There's not much we can do about that, although we can get in for another soft tyre with him, and then go for the ultra soft definitely with him. And we see Kubica come into the pits. No mistake on that pit stop, and we'll look after these soft tyres for a little bit now. Maybe, no, can we? I don't think we're going to be able to get back in front of Carlos Sainz, are we? So that didn't quite work out for us. We've actually come down a little bit further down the order than we were before the pit stop, because we've actually come out behind Ocon as well, who must have been going for it on that. So maybe we'll push out of the pits. It might push us in the way of doing a 3-stop, but we can always go for just another soft, so we can always keep it 2. We might just have to disregard that ultra soft plan. And meanwhile, we're going to attack for Sorokin. Maybe go overtake as well. The fuel's a little bit low, but we can always recover that pretty easily. Just sort of keep this tyre going as it is, and maybe we'll just go for the soft and then hope that he can do the next one on a super soft. Otherwise he's going to have to 2-stop. So we're going to get him in the next lap, because the hardest compound tyre for a race can usually go down to the bare thread before you have to pit him. So we'll get him in this lap. He was supposed to be able to do 18 laps. He's not really done that, so we'll get him in this lap. He's holding up a lot of the other cars though, which might be good for Kubica. Who knows? But Kubica, meanwhile, these tyres getting a little bit hot now, so we're going to start recovering some of this fuel. We're just sort of stuck in a pack at the moment with Kubica, so we'll start that. Sorokin, meanwhile, gets out of the pits in 17th. Not too bad for him. We'll have him start recovering some fuel. Maybe look after these tyres a bit just to make sure we can get onto that super soft. Because if you've watched the previous videos, we do have to use 2 different tyre compounds during a race. That is another rule that I've set myself. The game would allow you. There's no sort of set rule that you have to use 2 tyre compounds during a race, but we sort of keep it to real life and use 2 tyre compounds. Kubica now will move back up into 11th place. We have managed to get past Ocon at some point as well. So Kubica 11th place. I could be on for scoring points here. Bottas has come out for an ultra soft. He might be going on to the soft tyre to finish the race on. It looks like he's done 2 ultra soft tyre stints. A little bit of a risky strategy for the Mercedes team. Obviously they need to pick up places from where they started. Hamilton has got himself started in first. He's still in first. Alonso, who started in 3rd place, is up into 2nd. Where is Kevin Magnussen? 9th place. Roman Grosjean as well in the Haas started pretty high up. He's down in 19th. Sorokin, meanwhile, seemingly struggling a little bit here. He's just been passed by Charles Leclerc. We're not really bothered about him. We're just sort of really bothered about getting this point. We're sort of recovering the fuel at the moment. Sort of keeping these tyres as they are. There's no rain coming until the end of the race, which is what we got cut out the race before last. So what are we at? 11 laps remaining on this, so we are going to be able to get on to another pair of super soft. It looks like the ultra soft strategy is out of the window, out of the question here. We could always go for another soft, so we will be at a 2-stop either way. Should we push on these tyres knowing we've got another pair of soft tyres to go on to? would that be better than going on to another set of super softs to finish the race on? I'm not sure. As we move up into 10th, we see Hulkenberg. Is that his first pit stop of the race? No, that is his second pit stop of the race. So let's get pushing on these tyres a little bit now. We're still going to be recovering fuel, and we're going to see Carlos Sainz come into the pits as well. He's going to get his second pit stop. So maybe a lot of these other cars might be 3 stopping. And that might, we see Bottas make his second pit stop. That might be able to get us a little bit further up the order. Meanwhile, we can't really do much with Sorokin as it is at the moment. He's trying to get onto a pair of super softs, because we definitely do have to do that with him. So what can we do with the remainder of this race? Kubica is up into 9th, although Sainz, can we keep out ahead of him? He's on another pair of soft tyres. That might not stretch to the end of the race. Meanwhile, we've got Bottas behind us. So we are on course, it looks like, at the moment for a points finish. Whether we can actually get a points finish or not, we're doing a 107.7. We'll be able to see what Sainz is doing as he comes around. Just watch him come across the line, then we can look at his lap time. He's currently doing a 107.2. He's a second quicker at the moment, but we're going to have fresher tyres towards the end of the race. He's going to be on a really warm pair of soft tyres at the end of the race, whereas we should be a lot fresher. So we will be able to get back past him again, we would hope. We're going to recover some fuel so we can go high mode. Or should we get high mode now, or save it? You know, we'll save it, and then we might be able to get a couple of laps in on overtake mode as we're coming into the pits. Sergei Sorokin has got past Roman Grosjean as well. 13th place, a decent race for Sorokin here as well, although a lot of these he's going to be back behind once this is done. If he can finish somewhere around 16th, we would be happy with him this race, and maybe we're going to get him attacking for a tiny little bit. We sort of need to make up some distance, and we're sort of thinking about 1 more lap or 2 more laps on this soft tyre. Maybe we should just push for 1 on this. 16 laps, it's a bit of a stretch for that super soft tyre as well. What have we managed to get out of this one? 14-15 laps. Oh, it's going to be close towards the end of the race on this soft tyre as well that we're going to go on to. So maybe we can do another lap on this. It should go threadbare. We should be able to get down. We're doing a 106 at the moment. Can we keep it out for another lap after this one as well? Still doing a 106. Maybe get into the pits this time. Yeah, because this tyre's about to fall away. Super soft did a 13. There's 13 laps remaining. Should we go on to a soft that we can push on, or should we go on to a... We're going to go on to a soft that we can push on. Would that be sensible? 106.5 on that super soft. I'm not going to be able to see what this tyre's doing for Perez. There's no one else currently out on the softs. Everyone's coming for a soft towards the end of the race, so that's what we're going to copy as well. So meanwhile, his lap is going to be coming into the pits, and there we go. That's his pit stop, last pit stop out of the way. He's back out into 17th place, a little bit further down the order than we'd hoped, but he should be able to start coming back now, and we're going to get him pushing on these tyres. So Sorokin now, he's pushing into the pits. We're going to get his last one out of the way. Now we're going to get him to go another lap here. We're just going to push mode instead. We want him to go another lap so he can get onto that super soft for the last stint. It's meanwhile 114, although it's not his first lap after the pit stops here. Behind Ocon again. It just didn't work out going for that longer stint, although we're on the fresher tyres, so can we catch him is the question. We are about a second quicker at the moment. Are we going to be able to keep up that being a second quicker towards the end of the race? It looks like the points finish is sort of out of the question, and we're going to have to get Sorokin in now for this super soft, which he can see through to the end of the race. Hopefully there's no mistake on the pit stop. There isn't. He's back out into 18th, which is not the best for him. I'll get him on high mode for a little bit as well. Kubica meanwhile trying to catch up to Esteban Ocon, which is what we're doing. We're eating away at that time pretty rapidly. Up into 12th now. We've seen some other cars, Hulkenberg, make his 3rd pit stop. So is that what we're going to see from a couple of the other cars that might move us up into the points? Ericsson in front, Ocon in front. Ericsson on a quicker tyre though. Can we catch up to him? It looks like we're sort of doing 108 last time to our 106. Ericsson on low fuel at the moment. So should we push and... No, we'll just keep it going as we are. We're in a good position to try and get that last points place. A couple of these might be... Oh, it's a little bit... No, we'll go high. We've got to try close Ericsson and knock on down these couple of laps. Otherwise, we're not going to be up... Oh, is someone else pitted? Or have we just... Someone did pit. It's either Hulkenberg. No, Hulkenberg did. Maybe it's Carlos Sainz has made that pit stop. So it's just Ericsson we need to pass to get up into the points, which will be an amazing finish here. Just go back into medium on Sorokin. Try and hold off these tyres for the last laps, because Ericsson's possibly going to start pushing now. He's gone back into high mode again now. And we'll see what our lap times are like after this lap. Should we push in overtake mode to get that track position being everything? Let's have one push here from Kubica. Is he going to be able to catch him? No, we're not. We're going to have to go back. Looks like 11th place. We're sort of going to be resigned to 11th place unless any of these tyres fall away on these other cars. We did a 106. We're actually slower that lap, even pushing around half of it. And we've got front wing problems with Kubica as well. Let's just check in on Sorokin. He's nowhere near the points. He's got a gap out in front of him. Gasly's trying to get close to him. Maybe push a little bit on his tyres. He can go high mode as well for a little bit now. Let's just try to recover this fuel as well from Kubica. It's Charles Leclerc who's behind him. We're sort of falling away from Marcus Ericsson now. We sort of gave everything and it didn't work out going overtake mode and high. It's allowing Leclerc to catch us as well now as we sort of approach the last couple of laps. There's 2 laps remaining after we cross the finish line this time. Maybe we can go high mode just to keep Leclerc behind us. But 11th place wouldn't be too shabby at all. It's a lot higher than we should be expecting to get. It's nowhere near the highs of the podium we got last time. But it is still a good result nevertheless if we can make it go. And yes, we're going to be able to get across the line with Robert Kubica. Sorokin, meanwhile, he can... might as well attack on these tyres. We can attack on these tyres as well from Kubica. We fell quite a way behind Ericsson, chasing him down. We couldn't catch the Sauber. They pick up a point. I'm not going to do anything in the grand scheme of things. Bottas finishing 9th. That third pit stop really held. Well, stuttering there as I just saw Hamilton had made a third pit stop as well. He's been overtaken by Alonso. McLaren winning here in the equivalent of Monaco. An absolutely brilliant result from them. So when did Hamilton actually make that pit stop? Let me just have a look. Did he make a... Can we see when he made that pit stop? It must have been really near the end. No? Pretty... yeah. Yeah, just a bad strategy from Mercedes there, from the AI. For some reason, just a really bad strategy for them. Kevin Magnussen demoted 2 places. Unfortunately, not enough down the order to go back behind us. So, Haas running illegal parts. Maybe that was something to do with their really good qualifying session that they had. Could explain it. But currently, we're still on 15 points, sitting pretty. Renault still having a nightmare of a season. And they need to pick up form quickly. I would expect them to do it before some point before the end of the season. I think they've got the 5th best overall car. Hulkenberg and Sainz, really good drivers. Should be doing a lot better than this. Should be up here somewhere. McLaren move up into 4th place. Red Bull still winning the Constructors' Championship. I think they were winning before. Can't remember now, going back with the mess up that we had with the save game. Mercedes in 3rd, McLaren 4th, the Ferrari in 2nd.